Whenever I see bottles like this, my OCD kicks in and I've just got to get them all. My name is Neeb. Welcome back to Aromatics. Today we're going to be talking about a fragrance from the house of Ming Games. And today's topic of fragrance is going to be Blockade. I love the inspiration that they have here for the chest, but I kind of hate it at the same time. And the only reason I hate it is a little bit selfish because it triggers the OCD in me. I've got to get them all. I've generally got to get them all. So as of today, I've got 3 from the collection. I've got Gardez, I've got Blockade, and I've got Grandmaster. I do plan on getting a lot more, if not finalizing the entire collection. And I mean, even their travels, their little atomizers have a whole like little collectible type of thing. It's insane, man. I remember when I first went to Neiman Marcus, around their launch time, probably around 8 to 9 months, I fell in love with Gardez. I wasn't even there to sniff Ming Games. I was sniffing some Rojas, I had my nose on some Nishanis, and then the gentleman behind the counter took me over and said, "You like, iris fragrances and leather?" He's like, "Check this one out." So I went over to Gardez, fell in love, I bought it at retail. The second one I fell in love with and I knew I had to have was going to be Blockade. And then Grandmaster did have my attention because it uses Rose Absolute and it has coffee as well. Rose Absolute is one of my favorite fragrance notes, including that iris and pink pepper as well. But today we're going to talk about Blockade because I actually rocked this one today and I really enjoyed it. And I just think that you guys need to know about this fragrance. So this fragrance was released in last year, 2022, and the perfumer's name is Christelle. I'm sorry, I don't want to sabotage the last name. But the notes and what this fragrance really is all about, it's about the mango. Gentlemen and ladies, this smells amazing. You guys, it is all about the mango. It smells fresh, it smells clean, a little bit woody, and it's very transitional. So I'm going to place the notes on the screen, and as you can see, we've got mango, pink pepper, there's tomato leaf, there's more mango blossom, and then you have that cyclamen, and there's some star anise, and then in that base, what's important to note is that suede, amber, and oud. So this fragrance, although you might see oud, do not shy away from it because it's not animalic whatsoever. Actually, it's pretty natural smelling. These notes are composed to really draw an entire picture, and really the skill behind the composition of this fragrance is excellent. So you have that mango, and that's what this one really opens up with. It opens up with a lot of mango. But before we dive into that, I kind of want to take some time to really appreciate the presentation for this bottle. All these fragrances have a different head of the fragrance, and they all are inspired by different chest pieces. On the front, you have that plaque, and these are extraits de parfums. So let's take a look at the atomizer on this thing, which is pressurized and just straight up quality stuff. Mouth-watering mango and a hefty dose of pink pepper, but it's also balanced out with this nice green, very vegetal and realistic leafy type of green nuances. The opening of this fragrance is magical. You have a super naturalistic mango, and underneath that you're getting like this borderline vegetal, very realistic, naturalistic leafy green nuance that's coming from that mango blossom, aka mango flower, and that tomato leaf. So what these are doing together is really helping resemble or draw the image of a freshly picked mango, man, with the leaves still attached. And it's super juicy, super watery, coming from that watery cyclamen. It's really nice, you guys. I can't emphasize how mouth-watering this mango quality is. There is a note of star anise and the lavender in the mid, but I think that the lavender really is just a supporting note. It's not really doing anything that's going to stand out, along with that star anise. This isn't an overtly spicy fragrance, and despite the fact that there is pink pepper at the top here, although there might be a little bit of a spicy nuance, I definitely would not call this much of a spicy fragrance, really. It's mostly tropical. That's the type of vibe I'm getting with this. It's fruity, tropical, and then woody. So the other thing that I noted with this fragrance is in the mid to dry down. So once it started getting into the mid, you start to pick up a lot more of these leafy greens. Some of the extra citruses, specifically that bergamot, starts to fall off, but the mango goes absolutely nowhere. The mango is here and it's here to stay. Once you get into that mid, like I said, you start to pick up a little bit more of that tomato leaf, some of that mango flower. It really just emphasizes more on that mango. So although the mango is at the top and it might dry off, the mango flower does a good job at pretty much taking the pull from that mango and keeping it alive throughout the rest of the fragrance. At about hour 2 is when those citruses starts to drop off and you get more of like this leafy green naturalistic type of mango quality. And then within the next hour to hour and a half, so at around hour 3.5 mark, you start to detect this dark amber starts to get a bit warmer, and now it's starting to resemble more of like this dried fruit quality. Whereas in the beginning it was nice, it was watery, it was a juicy mango. Now it's becoming dried. It's still a little bit sweet, but it's a natural sweetness. And like I said, it smells a little bit more of like a dried mango now compared to that watery effect that we were getting from that cyclamen. That was really really making my mouth water. So at this point in time, around hour 3.5, hour 4, it started becoming even more natural, warmer, denser, and that suede started to play its role in this fragrance, which I genuinely believe its purpose was to kind of help draw that fuzzy texture of a natural mango. So suede, although can be a little bit animalic, it wasn't really animalic in this fragrance, but more so the same texture that you get with suede is a similar texture of that of a natural mango. So a little bit fuzzy, slightly hairy, and like I said, it just redraws the texture of a mango. The oud in this fragrance is not anything barnyardy, it's not anything like that. And then the patchouli really just also helps play as a supporting role and takes the pull away from some of those other green notes like that mango flower and the star anise. So by the dry down at around hour 4 to hour 5, it's now a dried fruit mango, and it focuses mostly on that amber, the patchouli, and some of those dark woods. So you do get dark woods, and I'm assuming that that's the oud, but I don't think that the oud is of, anything of Indian quality or Cambodian quality. I just think it's a nice Western styled oud, which really just smells like dark woods. Basically what I got with this fragrance at the top was this freshly picked, super juicy mango that started getting a little bit green, earthier. It started drying out, getting a bit denser, warmer, and you start to finish the actual mango, and now you're revealing some of the rinds. The rinds are drying, and it's getting earthier and darker and denser. I personally loved rocking this fragrance, and if you're looking into a fragrance that you want to go into with Mind Games, I highly suggest Blockade. I really don't think that anybody's gonna dislike this fragrance. It's an easy DNA, but complex at the same time. All of the supporting notes and the transitions, this was thoughtfully crafted. Easy to love, but artistic at the same time. Yeah, this is an excellent fragrance. One of my favorite from the house of Mind Games. And if I'm being honest, although I might enjoy Gardez, I think this is the one that I would recommend before that. To wrap it all up, it's a mango-based fragrance that starts off super juicy, super watery, very easy to like, and compliment worthy for sure. If you guys enjoy fragrances like Nishani's Hachivat and even Creta Ventus, but the more fruitier batches, this, in my opinion, is in that similar family, and it does kind of have like this oak moss vibe that I think is really coming from this watery cyclamen that's combining with the patchouli and some of that oud, and I think that that combination really draws this wet woods later down in the dry down, or mid to dry down. And this kind of resembles those two fragrances, or at least plays in the same family. But in my personal opinion, I like it a little bit more because of the fact that it uses mango instead of pineapple. All in all, though, it's a pretty different DNA, and I freaking love this fragrance. For me, this is a 10 out of 10, and it's the first one I would recommend from Mind Games. Let me know down in the comments if you tried any of Mind Game fragrances, and if you didn't know, you probably could walk into your local Neiman Marcus and try it out for yourself. And when you do, or if you have, let me know down in the comments what you think about Mind Games, specifically Blockade. And while you're down there, hit that subscribe button, and until the next video, peace.